So let's get started right away. What is XRP actually? Well, it's about the XRP ledger. The technology ultimately aims to make international payments fast and easy. It is a kind of counterpart, I would say, to foreign transfers or international transfers, the SWIFT system. For example, in the fiat world, it was founded in 2012, so it has been on the market for a very long time and has really experienced, I would say, ups and downs in the past. But now there have been extremely good news with Donald Trump in the US government, which has ultimately brought movement for XRP. Extremely positive. The entire analysis now will surprise you. Yes, and first my 20 metrics. Please watch this video above to understand the 20 metrics. Then let's go directly into the complete analysis. The market capitalization. Ultimately, XRP is already a high cap altcoin, which is always important to see. It's not the price, a few dollars or cents that matters, but only the market capitalization drives the growth of an altcoin. Therefore, the growth potential is already there, but I wouldn't say it's as extreme as 50 or 100 times. So 4 out of 10. Then it's about the circulating supply. Ultimately, 57% are already in circulation. That's good. It's not outstanding either, because of course there can still be high price pressure, as ultimately quite a few tokens are still not on the market. This naturally means that they will still be thrown onto the market, so to speak, sold, and thus a higher price pressure can arise in the future. Therefore, 7 out of 10. And the next point is, how does the roadmap look? Ultimately, they really want to enhance international payments, especially across borders, in a significant way. Right now, it takes quite a long time to transfer money internationally. Therefore, if we are talking about millions that one wants to transfer, it takes time at the bank. The bank partially controls this manually, and it can take up to days for the money to ultimately arrive in the other country. Sometimes it is not possible due to certain regulatory reasons, which is of course very difficult. Here they have a realistic roadmap and ultimately they are very well positioned, therefore 8 out of 10. The next point, the team, well, it is led by Brett Gellinghouse. The team has strong expertise in the finance sector, but is also very well established in the blockchain area. They have been on the market for a long time, they are very experienced in the field, therefore 9 out of 10. Then in the end, the narrative, well, which narrative? One, of course, is that they ultimately replace or complement the traditional financial sector through blockchain. It is, of course, very relevant, especially in payment transactions, international payment transactions, that everyone can ultimately participate in a certain system. Because at the moment, depending on which country you live in, you cannot participate in international payment transactions, which is, of course, complicated. Therefore, this is definitely an important narrative. 8 out of 10. Then, what problem does XRP solve? Because as just mentioned, it ultimately solves international payments through the XRP ledger, which are then faster, as normal and above all, cheaper. Normally, one would pay corresponding fees for millions of contributions that are transferred internationally because banks naturally take a nice slice of that pie. From that perspective, I would say the token economy is well positioned and very stable because there are many tokens available on the market. So the supply is there and therefore it is quite positive. Thus, 7 out of 10. Next, how do things look for the investors? Well, top institutional investors include SBI Holdings and others. That is of course positive, and they will continue to receive support, especially now after the good news. Therefore, 8 out of 10. The next point is, how does the capital look? Ripple is of course very well funded. They have a lot of money, they can implement their roadmap very well, and they have also come through the bear market with good liquidity. Overall, very well positioned in this area, 8 out of 10. The next point is marketing. We already have strong partnerships in this area also globally, especially in the banking system, in the field of payment processing. Therefore, they are well positioned, 7 out of 10. Stop, I found another altcoin this week that has massively surprised me. Really a great project, very interesting indeed. I won't keep it from you. I will upload the video for the analysis next weekend. I have really analyzed 20 metrics in detail again and made a price prediction using a 10x formula, which surprised me a lot. So subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss it. Definitely activate the bell so you don't miss any insights in the future. And now let's continue directly. So how simple is the idea? It is indeed easy to understand, and ultimately the basic structure, meaning international payments being simple, fast, and cost-effective, is of course easy to grasp. XRP has been on the market for a long time. Many know XRP, so 8 out of 10. Next point is the long-term vision. They definitely have a long-term vision to become very dominant in the payment sector and to gain further momentum. They are very well positioned, have a clear vision for the future, hence 8 out of 10. The next point is that the maximum supply is not inflationary, which is suboptimal, but ultimately has a maximum supply of 100 trillion XRP. Therefore, that is quite positive, hence 7 out of 10. The next point is about the fully diluted market capitalization, and yes, it is ultimately less than 10 times the market cap, which is positive, hence 7 out of 10. Then, how does the volume compare to the market cap? It stands at 0.139. This indicates that it is very liquid. You can sell your XRP on the market, you have good liquidity, which is extremely positive. It also has a high trading volume, which indicates that the XRP token is traded very frequently, 9 out of 10. Then the next point is the token distribution. Of course, a large number of XRP tokens are ultimately held by Ripple Labs, which is always somewhat suboptimal, as it naturally leads to higher selling pressure could arise if they sell large portions of it. Therefore, I rate that only 5 out of 10. The next point is the top coin holders, as low as possible. As mentioned earlier, Ripple Labs holds quite a few of the tokens. This is of course always dangerous for market manipulation. So it is important to focus on numbers, data, and facts. Therefore 4 out of 10. So how does it look regarding the used use case, so to speak? As mentioned earlier, in the end, the XRP token is used for international payments. And as a result, it has a very strong use case because it is needed when making international payments. Therefore, 9 out of 10. And then the community. Yes, what should I say? The XRP community, the XRP army is extremely relevant and extremely large. They are very positive and they have finally received positive news in the past. I am definitely looking forward to it. Personally, I also hold XRP, so that is very positive. I am also convinced by the XRP army that it is a great community, very well positioned, so 8 out of 10. So, what does the current market situation look like? As already mentioned, this very positive situation is becoming even more positive now with Donald Trump as the American president, and also I would say where in the end the regulatory, let's say, clarities are more present for the future, XRP is very well positioned. I am optimistic about this, and therefore the SEC from America, where a change will take place at the beginning of next year, is very positive for XRP, hence 7 out of 10. Yes, then we come to the result. 85.1%, which is an extremely good result. The tokenomics is solid, but the most important part is ultimately a strong team. Then they are very liquid, they have been on the market for a long time, they have an extremely strong community behind them, they have an extremely relevant concept that is extremely important for the future, also for the decentralized future. Overall, a top project that has been around for a long time for a reason. The growth potential is relatively limited, but I find XRP extremely good. And then we come to the result forecast. So if the entire cryptocurrency market ultimately reaches 5 to 10 trillion, I have calculated based on the fully improved market conditions that XRP could be worth between $3 and $7. So, an extreme increase for the XRP army. I am very positive about this, especially due to the good news.
So what exactly is XLM? It's a decentralized product. Cold, just like XRP, is essentially a competitor that aims to make payments and international transfers cheap and fast. And that's the use case. It was founded back in 2014, so it's been on the market for a long time and is of course currently benefiting from the XRP hype. First of all, I highly recommend this video up here, where I present my 20 metrics in detail, and then we'll dive straight into the analysis. It's a high cap altcoin, which means the growth potential isn't gigantic anymore, at least not in this bull run, but there's still a high growth potential. 6 out of 10. And the next point, the circulating quantity is already at 60. That's good. It's above the threshold of 30%, which indicates that not many more tokens will ultimately enter the market that could potentially lead to price pressure. So that's 8 out of 10. And then the next point, the roadmap. So basically, they are focusing on becoming more scalable and ultimately expanding the smart contracts further. And of course, strengthening the use case, which I rate 7 out of 10. Then there's the team, which was co-founded by Jet McCullough, a prominent figure in the crypto space. He also has a team around him that comes from the finance and technology sectors, so it's very relevant, and they are very solidly positioned. 8 out of 10. Then the next point. I already mentioned the narrative. XRP is really hot right now, and the transactions are international, making them accessible to everyone. They're cheap, and ultimately they're secure. This is a very relevant narrative. It's 7 out of 10. And the next point, what problem does it solve? This ties a bit into the previous point. It addresses the issue of international payments being cheaper and faster. In the current fiat system, when you make a transfer, especially internationally, it can take up to days. If we're talking about large amounts like millions, it takes a long time and it's also expensive. That's just the problem, and this effectively solves that issue. So, it's very relevant. That's just the problem, and this effectively solves that issue. 9 out of 10. Now let's move on to the tokenomics. They are solidly positioned because, of course, everything is based on the token through international payments. Very well positioned, 7 out of 10. And then the next point, what about the investors? It's actually great that investors like IBM are investing, which is very good. Institutional investors as well, 6 out of 10. And the next point, the capital, is basically managed by the Stellar Foundation, which is responsible for further development. They obviously have quite high resources because of that. 7 out of 10. And the next point is marketing. They have partnerships, they have a community that they nurture, which ultimately supports them. That's very good. 6 out of 10. Stop. If you don't want to miss any more altcoin analysis, then subscribe to my channel now. And don't forget to activate the bell. I upload altcoin analyses every Saturday and Sunday using my 20 metrics to analyze them, and at the end I make a price prediction that results in a percentage. So you don't miss any insights, subscribe to my channel now, and then we'll continue right away. The idea, how simple is it? So the transaction, international, cheap and fast, is a simple idea that pretty much everyone understands. So 8 out of 10 points. The long-term vision is to be further integrated into the global financial system, and also to achieve interoperability very quickly, which is of course very relevant. 7 out of 10. And the next point, inflationary maximum supply. It has a maximum supply, so it's not deflationary, which isn't really optimal. That's a 6 out of 10. And the next point, the fully diluted market capitalization is ultimately less than 2 times the market cap, which is very good and indicates a good valuation. So that's 7 out of 10. And then the next point, the volume to market cap ratio is at 0.04, which means it's already very liquid. And that's really good. 8 out of 10. And then the next point, here we have the token distribution. What does it look like? In the end, there are already quite a few tokens on the market, which is very good. And in the past, let's say, there were also lockup periods, which was actually very fair overall. And the burning of coins is actually good because it reduces the number of coins. 7 out of 10. And then the next point, the top coin holders should be as low as possible. Of course, a few central entities hold quite a few coins, which is suboptimal, so that's 5 out of 10. And the next point, what about the utility? Well, once for transaction fees, but in the end, it also has a clear benefit when dealing with smart contracts, because it's also used for international payments. 8 out of 10. And the next point, the community is very active on Twitter, Reddit, you know, the usual ones. Twitter is definitely one of the most important platforms in the crypto space in 2021. They also regularly provide updates on their social media accounts, which is very important, and they engage in discussions with the community, so that's 7 out of 10. And the last point, the current market situation. They are definitely benefiting from the fact that XRP currently has very good values. The hype is building up, and during the altcoin season, they will continue to rise, and I think they have potential. 6 out of 10. And then we come to the result, 86.8, a solid result with good tokenomics, a strong roadmap, and a good long-term vision, along with an important narrative that is currently emerging, so that's a good result. And then we come to the price prediction. Anywhere from 0.50 to 5 is possible, depending on how well the entire crypto market grows. It's a good result regarding the price prediction and still has clear potential. And then we will start directly with the analysis of HBAR. What is HBAR actually to begin with? It is ultimately a competitor to XRP and is also supposed to enable international transfers quickly, securely, and cost-effectively. It was founded back in 2018, and then we come to my 10x formula. Highly recommend the video above, where I present the 10x formula in detail. And now we dive directly into the analysis. First of all, the market capitalization is already a high cap altcoin, meaning the potential for growth of 50 to 100x is no longer present. But let's put it this way, it will still definitely have high growth potential. Then the next point, what about the circulating supply? It is already at 76%, which is a lot. This definitely indicates that the price pressure is not as strong anymore because simply not as many coins, so to speak, can come onto the market. From that perspective, 8 out of 10. And the next point, the roadmap. Yes, they are well positioned regarding the roadmap. They definitely have clear goals. The further scalability on one hand, but also ultimately to strengthen the network. Therefore, they are well positioned there. 7 out of 10. Then we come to the team. They definitely have a strong team from the tech industry, which is very good, and ultimately also from the business sector, meaning tech and business, which is extremely important, especially in the field of finance. Therefore, they are very well positioned with the team 8 out of 10. And the next point, which narrative, as already mentioned, is ultimately a competitor to XRP. The narrative is becoming increasingly relevant, so they are also well positioned for the digital future. 7 out of 10. And the next point, what problem does it ultimately solve? It ultimately solves the problem for international payments / transfers, which are cheap, fast, and ultimately decentralized, which is definitely a huge advantage. Therefore, 8 out of 10. And the next point, the tokenomics. Yes, the HBAR can ultimately be used for transaction fees, but also through staking to strengthen and secure the network. It has its use cases in tokenomics. Therefore, 7 out of 10. And the next point, the investors. It already has strong investors who ultimately support HBAR and believe in the project. Therefore, they are well positioned and solid. 7 out of 10. And the next point is capital. The HBAR Foundation has definitely supported the capital significantly, and through further adoption, they naturally attract more developers, which is positive. Therefore, 7 out of 10. And the next point, how does it look in terms of marketing? They already have some partnerships which are relevant and important, but the adoption is also progressing further through the community. Therefore, 6 out of 10. Stop. I found an altcoin this week during my analyses. It really surprised me ultimately from the AI section once again. I keep doing this, let's say. I specifically look for altcoins in the AI sector because it is an important narrative. This coin definitely surprised me for several reasons. I will upload the video again next weekend. The complete analysis based on my 20 metrics with my 10x formula. With price forecast, I can already say don't miss this old button at all, very relevant. So feel free to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to activate the bell to not miss any more insights. And now let's continue directly. Let's talk about the simplicity of the idea. How simple is it? Well, in the end, it's easy to understand the concept. Also, again, international transfer payments. Limitless, so to speak. Simple, fast, cost-effective. Therefore, 8 out of 10. And the next point, what does the long-term vision look like? They are based on the idea that a digital future, which is ultimately secure and naturally built on trust, therefore they have a long-term vision, also regarding international payments. That's good, 7 out of 10. And the next point, is it deflationary? Does it have a maximum supply? It has a maximum supply, which is definitely good. However, it does not have deflationary mechanisms, which is suboptimal, therefore 6 out of 10. And the next point, what does the fully diluted market capitalization look like? Is it below 10 times the market cap? And in the end, it is significantly below that. This indicates that it is in a good ratio, and therefore it also has 7 out of 10 points. And the next point, volume to market cap. In other words, how high is the liquidity? It is at 0.17, which indicates that it is liquid. Therefore 8 out of 10. And the next point, what about the token distribution? In the end, especially regarding lockup periods and so on, a large portion of the tokens are already in circulation, which is very good. This indicates that in the end, not many more can be thrown onto the market. For 7 out of 10. Now regarding the top coin holders, are there many? And I would say the risk is already there. There are already some who hold a lot of HBARs, for initially only 5 out of 10. Then the next point, what about the utility? Well, as already mentioned, transaction fees can be paid with HBAR, then of course also for staking and for the use of smart contracts. Therefore, it has 3 utilities. 8 out of 10. The community is active on Twitter, it is also active on Reddit and on Discord. They are well positioned with 10. And the next point, the current market situation, they are well positioned, and of course they are benefiting from the fact that XRP is making big news, so they already have a good narrative. 6 out of 10. Then we come to the result. How does it look? 86.8% is a solid result. Good tokenomics, strong team, a good roadmap. Ultimately, it is also a fairly easy to understand idea, and through XRP they currently have a good narrative. Therefore, a good result. And then we come to the price forecast. 0.05 to 250, everything is possible. It definitely still has extreme growth potential. Now that you know the potential of HBAR, I invite you to watch a video up here about an altcoin that really surprised me. Also a very good result regarding the, let's say, price forecast. Very interesting, I don't want to withhold it from you. So here is the video linked, and thank you for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, and see you in the next video.